Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to 2021. Are we ready? Are we ready to get going? Are we ready to face whatever the trial comes this year? Not yet. Me neither. We have finally we're back to normal here in our house. The kids, my teenagers, have gone back to school, and it's face-to-face for them. And they were more than ready. Definitely more than ready. We have only 5 months left of school, or high school, for my eldest, so that's going to be kind of fun. Not really, but that's for another video. And then my daughter, who's a freshman, she's totally ready for to finish off the year. She did ask me, though, if she had to people today, and I says, yes, you have to people. And then my middle one, he's still doing school, but he does it from home because of the particular course he's doing. So everybody's back to normal. The holidays are over. And I hope that everyone had a good holiday. You know, whether I had quite a few friends that were sick over the holiday and have since recovered and are out of quarantine and whatnot. And I just hope that if that was the case for you, that you still made that time special. And you took a moment to, sorry, my skin's dry and I'm itching everywhere. That you took a moment to acknowledge the purpose of what Christmas is, and took a minute on New Year's Eve to thank God that everyone is still healthy, and that you know, that you felt his presence when bad things happened. I know I did. The day after Christmas, we had a funeral service for a cousin, and you know, there's something about, this is not what I planned on talking, but there is something about knowing that the person that is no longer with us was a believer, and it just brings some liveliness to what would normally be a very solemn ceremony. It was fun. There was laughter, there was jokes, and it was just a good time. It's just too bad that it takes funerals and weddings for families to come together. So anyway, looking forward to 2021. I typically have a word for the year, or something that just keeps me focused. It never works. Honestly, I don't even think last year I had a word. I know I shared with you in the last video that I thought it was one thing. Maybe I shared it with you guys. I'm not sure. But that I had one thing and something else entirely, like, something else entirely was just what came to pass. So it was kind of a weird year, and so anyway, again, moving forward, 2021, what are we doing this year? Well, you know, in last year, God definitely took the opportunity of this staying in and sheltering in, or just not really leaving the house much, and definitely put into perspective a lot of flaws in myself. I am not very purposeful, and I'm not very steady. I can waver, if you guys can't tell. I think if you watch my videos, you know I get distracted easy. And that's okay, but it can be frustrating for some. And I know it's frustrating for me because that means I drop the ball on stuff. So, you know, things like, oh, my publisher probably is ready to strangle me. because I keep missing deadlines for, confession. I miss deadlines for Because Magazine articles, or Because Fiction Magazine's articles. I miss deadlines for book things. I'm bad. So, after taking the weekend to really just kind of think about the last 6 years really, and what I'd like to see happen in the new year. I'm going to sneeze. What I'd like to see happen in the new year is to be more intentional. Intentionally get organized. This is my writing notebook for the year, specifically just for 2021. It's color coded. See? Doo-doo-doo. So pretty, right? It's color coded. I've got tabs. But it's already helped me keep in mind what I want to get done this year. I've got 2 books that I have to complete. That's required. I have a handful of books right now that I have to read and submit reviews for Celebrate Lit publicities, their review blogs. So those are have-tos. But then there's things that I want to do more of, like make sure I have a weekly video. Let's stay committed to that and stay on top of it. Different topics. And my newsletter. I need to be more committed with that. Put something out every week. Sorry for you newsletter subscribers. I know I've kind of left you alone, but I gotta stay on top of things. So I understand if you leave. I wish you wouldn't, but I understand if you do. And then there's a few other things that I want to do as far as writing goes. And because I'm so scatterbrained, I don't make it happen. It doesn't get done. So my goal this year is to be very intentional to get things done, stay on track. So hard to stay on track. And to stay committed to what I want to see happen. I was reminded this morning, I had to look it up because I knew the verse, but I couldn't remember the location. I was reminded this morning of Ephesians chapter 5. I'm going to bring verse in here. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 15 and 16. And it says, and I read from the Holman Christian Standard Bible. It says, pay careful attention then to how you walk. I'm going to insert walk, talk, do business, take care of your home. Everything that could fall underneath there that's in my list of things for the year. Pay careful attention to how you walk, not as unwise people, but as wise people. Make the most of the time, because the days are evil. Make the most of our time. I can imagine I don't understand sorry, it was a little subheading. You know how they've got those little things there. Make the most of our time. Idle hands are the devil's playground. We've all heard that, right? So if we were to purposefully create a day, or if I was to purposefully create a day, I'm not going to get lazy. And trust me, I spent the last quarter of 2020 very lazy. Again, here I am. I have a book due at the end of the month, the first draft, and guess what's not done? Guess what should have been done? Now, some might say, well, you went through a lot in the last quarter. I lost a grandmother and a cousin I was fairly close with. To me, that's no excuse. Those two people, they're in God's hands now. They've always been in God's hands, but now they're in God's hands. and their families are perfectly taken care of. And yes, I'm going to miss them. But for me to sit here and dwell on the fact that they're not here is counterproductive to what my job is as a Christian and as a writer. I have jobs to do, and I can't do them. I have a ministry, and I can't do that ministry if I'm sitting at home thumbing through Facebook feeling sorry for myself all day. I don't know who that little tidbit's for, but I did not plan on saying that. So let's try to be intentional. Let's try to focus on something else besides the noise. And when I say the noise, I'm talking the government, the media, the sickness. I'm not saying ignore that they're there. I'm saying don't focus on them. I am watching people who are so focused on these things that they're losing their witness in my eyes. They're losing their effectiveness for Christ because they're so focused on what's going on. But that's for a different video altogether. So welcome to 2021. And I hope that whatever your goal is, you are able to accomplish it in leaps and bounds, okay? I have a book to write, so a book to write and a newsletter to get ready. So grace and peace to be with you all, and let's work on trying to be more intentional in our daily comings and goings, all right? Love yous.